Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So I know things are different. You're probably wondering where the heck is she right now. To be fair, I did warn you in my previous video. So if you haven't watched it, go back, watch that video, see what I'm talking about, and then start this one again. I am back in the United States right now. I was very fortunate to be able to go back to Italy and take care of all the housing related stuff as you guys saw in my previous videos. I hope you guys enjoyed that. It's still in the mix, but most of the bulk stuff has been taken care of by moi and my mom, of course. But with my help, because without me, I mean, where would she be? I'm kidding. She's probably watching this right now and saying the opposite. And so my channel is going to be changing a little bit. So again, don't be too startled, too alarmed. I still got lots of great stuff coming for you guys, lots of info coming your way, and lots of daily vlogs, as I saw on my Facebook and on my Instagram. Those were kinds of things that you guys voted for, that you preferred. But I will be doing a mix of those things, of course, to satisfy both ends. But today I did want to go ahead and just do a recap and show you guys my last full day in Italy, what the plane ride was coming back to the States. But again, I am not an expert on this, so don't take my word for it. I'm just giving you my experience and my opinion of the situation. And definitely reach out to your airline and government officials for any types of advice as far as masks or other types of regulations, okay? I flew with Lufthansa, which I've flown with them for many years. I always have a great experience with them. And this is not sponsored by them. This is just, again, my opinion and my preference. And I went directly with the airline this time, as opposed to going through one of those third-party sites that people like to use. I think the one that's really popular in Europe, man, I cannot think of the name. As soon as I'm thinking about saying it, I cannot think of the name. But a lot of times I will also use Cheapo Air, which isn't great if you are in a rush to get somewhere, if you have an emergency. I've had a really bad experience with using Cheapo Air in the past, so I would definitely, try to go with the airline directly if you can. And I will talk more about my experience that I had when I was basically held hostage. So yeah, we'll talk about that another day. But my flight going there was pretty long. I went from here in Nashville, well, not here, but in Nashville, from Nashville to Washington, D.C., and from Washington, D.C. to Frankfurt, Germany, from Frankfurt, Germany to Venice, Italy. Now, I did have a little hiccup because I was going to be flying into Milan first and then taking the train from Milan to Venice. That was prior to the zoning changing prior to my flight, and when the zone changed, I did have to go and talk to them and change my flight. So that was expensive. So yeah. Sorry, I thought I saw oh, it is a bird. Oh. I'm a fan of wildlife and all, but these birds are creating these nests right on my door entryway. It's not for me. It's not for me, and I need them to understand that, okay? So yeah, where was I? The flight there was pretty simple. I had all my appropriate documentation, all my signatures and whatnot, and then when I got into DC was when they asked for my test, and I presented that to them, and the negative test, of course. And then I had my test at least 72 hours prior. Really, I had it 48 hours prior. I was really cutting it close there. And then once I went from there to Frankfurt was when I went through customs, and through customs is where I had to present all of my other documentation to prove why I was able to enter Italy. Then I made my way from Frankfurt to Venice airport, and the airport right now currently is very strict about people coming in and picking up passengers. Right now they also don't allow people to come inside with you to drop you off, and so getting into the airport and getting back to the US, again, 48 hours prior, I had my negative test, and then I used that to present that to the person at the kiosk? At the desk? Yeah, at the check-in desk. They do have testing centers inside the Venice airport. I don't have any personal experience with it, but I did see that it was available. I thought that was pretty great. The one thing that I do like about traveling with Lufthansa is that they usually have decent food, and they always give you like a nice big bottle of water, which I think is really nice. So like, I guess that's why, so you're not asking them a billion times like for a cup of water, maybe. Another thing that they do is they offer like free wine and beer. So that's kind of interesting. And I don't think a lot of other airlines offer that. But theirs is like, you can ask, it's like unlimited, I guess, like water, tea, wine and beer with your meal and stuff like that. I usually ask for like a nice glass of red wine with my meals, or sometimes a beer depending on what they're serving. But yeah, and their meal this time around though was like not super great. Yeah, my plane ride was fairly spacious. I had a lot of room because it cannot have people sitting next to each other. And so I had almost like the whole row to myself pretty much, which was great. And then even some seats next to me, I could have moved around. People were like moving around and like getting adjusted and like trying to like, you know, really like lay out in like the seatings. That was really nice. Definitely want to take you guys through my last day and all the cool things I got into. I did get to go to a beautiful gallery located in the downtown Vicenza area. They have lots of great pieces in there, and it was just truly just a great experience, just hanging out with my gal pal and really getting to kind of relax and just kind of breathe in the moment, you know? The one thing I didn't like about the gallery though is that, and this may just be my personal opinion, like the getting in was fairly easy. It was like a couple euro per person, so it wasn't super expensive. But once we got in, we were followed like hawks by like the security, and so it made the experience not super relaxing because I felt like I was being rushed through like each section. So that's one thing I can say was like a negative about the experience of going to the gallery. It just felt really uncomfortable because it was like 2 of them at a time, and even when we were taking pictures and stuff, they were standing like in the picture shot, and then like after a while they realized they were in their shot and like would walk away because there's nothing that says you cannot take pictures. So that's why it was kind of odd, you know, and there was other people there that were like not being followed, but we were being followed. So that was really weird. And then after that, we also had, well, a little bit before that, we had some drinks and some little aperitifs, some little snacks. And then the following day, I mean, more or less around the same time, I did treat myself to some pizza, and so I'm going to be taking you guys with me to one of my favorite little restaurants here in downtown Vicenza, and I want to show you guys the delicious food that I ate, you know? And for those of you wondering, this is a classic for me. I always get rucola, brisaola, and grana, and then I also had him add some basil in as well. Hey guys, so I just got through having that amazing pizza that I just showed you. It was super good, and it's one of my favorite places in downtown. They used to actually be on the outskirts of downtown, like not far from, like between here and like Cheyenne. But then they recently moved here to downtown, which I guess is better for their business, but oh my god, still, I will travel anywhere to have their pizza. Really, their pizza is traditional Southern Italian Napolitano pizza, and so it's nice and it has that nice fluffy crust. And now that I've had lunch, I'm going to go and look for something sweet to hopefully bring to my friend, and then see where the day takes us. Alright guys, mission accomplished. Today, unfortunately, I am at home waiting on my luggage to get here because my trip from Italy was very long, of course, because right now things are a little bit different. And in the process, they unfortunately lost my bags. Well, they didn't lose them. They got stuck in New York because they shut down the airways. Now I'm waiting until today for them to drive them from Nashville to me in Clarksville so I can finally have my luggage. Guys, so far so good. I finally have my boxes that we delivered from Italy. I know you guys saw in the other video that I had a different box before, but we ended up having to change things up just a little bit and pack them this way. They were a little bit cheaper this way because if you're mailing it like from a military installation to the States, it counts as like if you're mailing it from state to state. But if you use these priority mailboxes, I think it's a max, these are the large ones, and it's a max of like $20-something per box, so no matter what size it is. So it's much cheaper that way. I know it looks unassuming, but there's a lot packed in here. Guys, literally like 10 minutes after I received my boxes, like my luggage came. All right, everybody, so I just got through unpacking. As you can see, everything came intact. Super happy about it, especially all my bottles. Again, like I said, one of these did leak a little bit, but that was the only problem that I had. I was really worried because normally I wrap them in bubble wrap, and with the doggy trainer pads, the potty pads, I usually wrap them in that to soak up any moisture that leaks out, but I didn't this time, and they came over, thankfully, without anything bursting or spilling, so I'm pretty excited about it. I'm really happy to. And thank you for joining me again. I'll talk to you soon. Ciao.